Here we are.
Good morning, Connecticut.
Good morning.
It is February 13th on a sunny Monday morning.
It's a little sunny, a little chilly.
We'll see
Not too bad.
as it gets a little later on. It's 7 a.m.
It is indeed 7 a.m.
Welcome to the Daily Sports Rant, our third show here, and our first without any technical difficulties.
Yeah, but we were locked out this time. We almost couldn't make it into the studio. That could have been a problem.
About 6:50, I hear we have no keys, so I have to go running down to campus.
Yeah,
Police.
I got a little worried. Show up and the door's locked.
Well, that could have been a problem, and
yeah.
Hell,
Yeah.
that would have been our third show without with a technical difficulty.
Yes, it would have. First Monday show, though.
It is our first
exciting.
Monday show.
It's very exciting.
I am excited.
I'm excited.
So we have Mondays, Wednesdays now, and next week we'll probably start Tuesdays, hopefully.
Yeah.
If our bodies let us wake up in time.
Exactly. We'll see how we adjust this week.
Absolutely exhausted today. I'm house sitting for
How are you?
my girlfriend's boss. So we have a...
How's that? Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but they have a 14-month-old dog, so that's getting up early, staying up late, letting it out, and then...
No, that's not fun. No, that's not really that fun.
Well, not when you have to get up at 5:45 to get here, and
very true.
And then you're locked out, so...
Yeah,
it was... blows it up, but so the Grammys. You watched the Grammys?
I did watch the Grammys last night.
You
I
did?
got a little. There's some interesting performances, I guess.
I was a little upset I had to miss Victor Cruz and his salsa.
I did see a little salsa from Victor Cruz. That was interesting. That was fun. But Paul McCartney, I did get to see that.
Was he any good?
I mean, I saw he did, I think, one of his new songs, and then I couldn't stay up till he did some Beatles songs later, but I fell asleep.
You fell asleep?
Yeah. It was on for a while. It started like 8. I don't think it ended till like 12.
I think it was 8 to 12.
Yeah, I was not expecting the length of that.
No.
That's terrible.
I can't believe you fell asleep that early. I wish I could get...
Oh, I didn't really fall asleep that early. I tried to fall asleep, and I kind of just gave up the TV rights after when I tried to go to sleep. So.
Well, I couldn't get sleep till like midnight, but...
Yeah.
Hell, we're going on like 6 hours of sleep.
Who cares?
Why not?
Who cares?
Are you feeling it? Are you feeling the Linsanity?
I'm feeling
that
a little
everyone else
insanity.
is feeling
Definitely,
right now.
Definitely. I think I was starting to feel the insanity after the Laker game.
Absolutely.
Like, hey,
I was, it was a nice story and everything.
Exactly.
And I wanted him. He beat the Nets, the Wizards, and I forgot the Jazz. I mean, those are not great teams. And then when he came out, I said, he needs to prove to me against the Lakers, and he did.
In the Garden, which I think is huge.
In the Garden, put up 38 against Kobe.
That's impressive.
And you know what? Kobe was terrible in the first half.
He was. Kobe really struggled. He was. He made some big shots down the stretch. I thought he was going to take control,
but
definitely
did.
Linsanity held him off.
Yeah, and you know what? They had a good defensive plan for once.
Yeah, definitely.
Lin was just a warrior and a controller, and finally, hopefully, they have found someone in Jeremy Lin.
I think he did. Yeah, he fits their system, D'Antoni's system.
He does
very well.
Well, because in D'Antoni's system, you need a point guard. You need someone who's willing to give up the ball and just be that warrior. That because initially they wanted Chris Paul. He was the real guy who was gonna. Yeah, he was the leader who was gonna really pass the ball around and everything. But Jeremy Lin, he's come out of nowhere,
and he's doing the job.
He is
doing the job.
And I guess we can't really call him a rookie, but
no. But at the same time, it's I don't know.
I want to though.
Exactly, me too.
So we'll just call him Jeremy Lin. We'll say
Lin.
It's Linsanity.
Linsanity.
Have you heard any of the others?
There's a few others. I mean, Linsanity is definitely my favorite.
Everyone's saying it's Linsanity.
Yeah. I love it.
So I found there's Lincredible.
Lincredible. I like that.
Linvincible.
Oh.
Or the Knicks are on a winning streak.
Wow.
There you go.
That one's pushing it a little bit.
Is pushing it, but I think I like it. So the Knicks are on a 5-game winning streak. We'll keep on putting Lin in our
Just
show.
Just put Lin in everything.
Throughout the entire show, we'll try to get you as many Lins as possible. So 5-game winning streak. They come out big against the Lakers and then against the Timberwolves as well.
Yeah. And then, his first 3 games, he scored 89 points. Wasn't that a record since the merger, I believe? Yeah. That's what I saw.
Since the 76 merger.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all. And then I think through the past 4 games, the 4 starts, let's say, because that Nets game he came in.
The Nets game was the...
So in the 4 games he started so far, he has 109 points total.
Yeah.
More than Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson.
Yeah, those guys aren't too bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list. So he has scored the most points since the merger in his 4 first starts.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's not, yeah. Not bad
and
at all.
And he's controlling the team well. Him and Tyson
very
Chandler
well. They're doing very well.
Really good duo.
Yeah. I mean, who's Carmelo? Who's Stoudemire? Do we need them on the team?
You know, there's a point in me where I don't even want to come back, but
it would be,
you need the superstars.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how he works with Carmelo. I think Stoudemire will be fine because he fits into that system well, but Carmelo kind of slows it down a little bit.
I agree with you, and it's only because Carmelo's just personality. His ego is going to get in the way.
Exactly. He wants that ISO and do it off that rather than move the ball around.
He's a very big ball hog.
Exactly.
He wants to be the one who puts up 30.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to learn. He's either going to have to come in here and they're going to have to change the system, which I don't think they should.
They shouldn't at all because it's clearly working right now.
He should come in and he should just swallow his ego, say, if I want to win, I'm going to put up 20.
Exactly. He can still
to 20
put up
points.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it come down to in the end? I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's about championships.
It's all about championships.
If you want to be known, you have to win the championships. And
he would be praised if he won a championship
in New York.
For the next, he would be praised.
He would be. And he is the one that they need, I think, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave up everything for him.
Everything.
So
they can't just give up on him now.
They can't just give him away and say, well, he didn't fit, so let's try again with someone else. They need him to be
he's
there.
in it. They need to win it with him. I think.
I agree with you with Amari. I think he is the one. I mean, because in Phoenix.
Exactly, because he fit well with Nash in that system in Phoenix.
Exactly, he worked really well. So I think he can work well with Lin, and especially with Chandler as well. And then either you have Fields or Shumpert at the other guard, and they put up 19 and 20 points.
Exactly, you're looking at a pretty strong lineup right there, starting lineup. Yeah.
All of a sudden, with Jeremy Lin, just one person changes the whole
team.
You'll already have your front court set. With Chandler, Amari, and Melo.
Yeah.
You put a point guard who can command everyone. You're all set.
Yeah, I mean, because he can. I mean, he's got the passing and he can score too, which keeps everybody honest, which I like to see.
And I was excited to watch him. He had a different. I don't know how to explain it. A different style, I want to say.
He had a little different style. He didn't look like everybody else.
He didn't. He really didn't. He just looked comfortable in his own body and was able to move the ball. And at some points I thought he was, either coming up too close to people with his ball. It looked like he was just a little too close, but he held on to it, and he has good ball handling. I
mean, he did turn the ball over a little bit too much. He's averaging, I want to say, about 4.6 a game is what I did. But he had 8 turnovers against the Jazz and 6 each against the Lakers and the Timberwolves, which is, you like to see that.
He'll have to work on that.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
I'm saying if he's putting up the points.
Exactly.
And since he's so new and if he works on that, they will be a formidable force.
Definitely. Yeah, when you got a point guard averaging 27 points a game, 8 assists, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
That's not bad.
It really surprised me that the 38 against the Lakers.
That was impressive.
It was.
I
was excited for the game. I even watched it. Usually I don't watch basketball very much.
That was an exciting game.
The Linsanity took me over, and I thought his story was interesting. So.
Yeah, Harvard economics. That's not too bad either.
No. And he grew up in Palo Alto.
Yeah, I see.
And he wanted to go to Stanford, and obviously they didn't take him for whatever reason, and we'll talk about that. But so he goes to his backup school, Harvard.
That's not too bad.
I wish I had a backup school called Harvard. He goes there and he's like, you know what? Oh, all right, I'll just go to Harvard.
I guess I'll go to Harvard if I have to.
I guess it was an all-in situation for him.
Yeah,
they were going through it again.
That was impressive right there.
But so he goes to Harvard. He becomes their 5th all-time leading scorer. Throughout the process. Yeah. And what does he get? Economics
from Harvard. That's not a bad degree
No, not at all.
To have right there.
And then he gets undrafted, and he goes over to Golden State.
Floats around the D League for a while.
They cut him from Golden State because of salary cap issues.
Yeah.
So an undrafted player gets cut because of salary cap issues. I don't.
Which is, how is that even
I've never heard of it, but sure, give us that excuse.
That's fine.
Why not?
Whatever.
You could just say we didn't see the talent in him, but why not cut him for salary?
Yeah, salary cap.
Salary.
The undrafted player.
The undrafted rookie who's not getting anywhere.
Killing the salary right there.
cut him. So he goes to the Houston Rockets, where he signs a non-guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
When the Houston Rockets have 3 point guards with guaranteed contracts.
Yeah.
Who is his agent? Why would his agent send him to Houston, where they have 3 point guards who are on guaranteed contracts?
Yeah.
When you look at the roster, who's the first one out of that?
I don't know.
Jeremy, the one with the non-guaranteed contract.
Exactly, true, yeah.
Because then they don't have to pay him throughout the year.
Yeah. I mean, this dude should probably be his own agent. I think he's probably smart enough to be his own agent.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't even think about that. He definitely should be his own agent.
He definitely should.
He definitely needs a new agent. Why you would send him there?
Yeah, the dude's killing him.
Makes no sense to me.
Let's go to the team with 3 point guards, all with guaranteed contracts. How do you feel about that?
So, obviously, he's the first one out if anything happens.
Yeah.
But he goes to the Knicks.
The Knicks.
And he becomes their 3rd point guard. But I believe he has a guaranteed contract there.
Yeah.
So they pick him up when Shumpert goes down a couple weeks ago. No, more than a couple weeks ago.
Well, yeah.
Like a month ago.
Yeah.
Basketball season is really long. But
yeah, it is.
Well, not this season.
Well, not that. Yeah.
This
season it's like 2 games.
It's like a little bunched.
Exactly.
I think you have something like 100 games a week.
It's just crazy. It's just action packed. It's one after another.
It's fun for the fans, but
it is.
I can't imagine what it's like.
And you have the Celtics who are like 90 years old and they're playing every day.
I don't know where they're going, but
yeah,
that's another story.
Yeah, it is.
So he signs with the Knicks, and like you said, he's playing in the D League.
Yeah.
At what point, if you're Jeremy Lin, do you just
say, hey, I got a Harvard. I got
just
a degree in
quits?
economics from Harvard.
Exactly.
I think I can go make some money somewhere else.
At what point would you have? I mean, he's been everywhere.
He has.
Where's the D League? In Erie?
Who knows?
So he's playing in Erie. I believe it's in Erie. So
yeah.
he goes and plays in Erie for a couple weeks. If I was him,
I'm saying, hey, let me just put my Harvard
I have
to
my,
use at this
my
point.
Harvard.
I'm pretty sure I can get a job somewhere.
Exactly, but he doesn't. He comes back and
takes New York by storm.
And look at him now. So he goes through all this: Palo Alto to Harvard to Golden State to Houston to New York, then to Erie.
Time.
Now he's back in the league and he's blowing things up for the Knicks. He's absolutely having a fantastic week.
5 games.
Fantastic week.
I mean, he's 5-0 right now.
He is 5-0 and 26 points a game.
Yeah, 27, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals.
There you go.
He's getting the job done.
He is. So if you're the Knicks, you sign him now.
You got it.
You got it.
You got it.
I'm gonna have to agree with you now. Now, why do you sign him now?
Because I think the whole thing with the Knicks was they needed the point guard, and that was their whole key. They didn't really have a point guard to do everything that they needed to do. They had the forwards and everything with Melo and Stoudemire, and out of nowhere comes Jeremy Lin to save the day. Mm-hmm. I think you gotta sign him now.
Right. Well, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I'm also a little skeptical right now just because it's 5 games.
Yeah.
I want to give him some time, but I think just because of salary cap issues, if he goes on a tear for the rest of the season, he's going to command a big salary.
True.
And obviously you can go over with your own players.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, you kind of want to just give him that contract. His contract's up at the end of the year. Why not?
Why not?
Why not give him a chance? I want to see what he does especially when Melo.
When the guys come back, we'll have to see how they fit in.
I want to see that, but you're right. They needed the point guard.
They needed the point guard.
And as of right now, he's just a commander.
He's doing the job,
to
say the least.
Why not?
Yeah.
So he's undrafted, cut from 2 teams. The last I heard, he's living on Landry Fields' couch.
I did hear something like that.
You heard that as well?
Something crazy.
And he gets the time to shine. He takes advantage of it. So
yeah. In New York, which I think is very impressive as well.
It's very impressive. So I wanna know why he wasn't drafted.
That's my question. Yeah.
Why wasn't he drafted? Why wasn't he kept?
Exactly.
He's
obviously got skill. How did nobody seem to see any of this?
To
give him even a little chance.
I saw a video. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was him playing
at Harvard.
Not in Harvard, in the summer league.
I think with Golden State.
No, I don't know with who, but he was playing the summer league, and he was hands down brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going toe to toe.
I did see. I think I saw that highlight too. Yeah.
And I guess just everyone overlooked his talent for some reason.
And I think I saw somewhere that he only played one D-League game this year and he had triple-double. So, I don't know.
It is the D-League, but still.
I mean, dropping triple-doubles.
I mean, it's like Bryce Harper hitting a home run in minor leagues. We know your talent. When are you coming up? So, no one saw this Jeremy Lin kid. And
here he is.
I'm giving 2 reasons why I think so. He's from Harvard.
Yeah.
Is one of my reasons.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
Ivy League players just
get overlooked.
They get overlooked.
Yeah.
You rather have the SEC, the Big East players.
The ACC guy, the big time conferences that are playing, Duke, UNC, UConn, like the big schools.
So, Harvard. For some reason, they overlook them.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, but we'd rather it not.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to say number 2 is the fact that he's Asian American.
Yeah, definitely. You don't see too many Asian Americans.
When's the last time you saw an Asian American point guard?
And let alone, player in general, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was Yao, but besides Yao, who else?
I can't name
And
anybody.
I think the reason he didn't get into Stanford was because of that as well. Obviously, we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But, you want to field your best team, and everyone's saying, oh, well, an Asian American ball player.
It's not,
So,
yeah.
I'd have to say those are my 2 reasons why he, one, didn't get into the college he wanted, and 2, was drastically overlooked.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Harvard.
Harvard's a big one because teams just don't want Ivy League players for some reason. And to a point, I can agree with them, but when you see this kind of talent, and when he's the 5th all-time scorer at Harvard,
why not take a chance?
Go for it.
Go for it, exactly.
So he plays next in Toronto on Tuesday. So
we'll see how.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yeah. So we'll see some more Lin. we'll make some more Lin jokes.
Yeah, we got to get some more
Lin
jokes in there. Yeah.
We're all Lin with Jeremy Lin.
I love it.
All right, I'm done with that.
Yeah, we're done.
Well, let's kick it into baseball again.
Back to baseball.
Last week we kind of ended the show a little early.
We rushed it.
We did rush it. We should have just kept you guys with this week with Prince Fielder.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to Prince.
We'll talk about Prince a little bit.
Big signing.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pujols is a big signing too, but
we can get to that after this.
Yeah, we'll compare them.
Exactly.
So we talked about the cons. We'll do a little recap.
Yeah, I mean, like the big con was, I think, defense. I think we can agree that defense was the big con in that. I mean, I think the length too, just because, him and Cabrera are pretty much the same age. They're same body type. They're going to have to DH. Both of them are going to have to DH eventually. So I feel like this deal is good for maybe this year. Definitely this year with Martinez going down, but I don't know. I think 9 years might be a little too much for this, just because Cabrera is going to need DH too.
So it is a little too much, but I think they had. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Someone like that, they command. They want to be somewhere. I think the lowest he was looking was 8 years, and he even said no to a couple 8 years.
Yeah.
Just because he knows in 8 years, during that 9th year, he's going to be one heavy guy who needs to just DH.
Yeah, exactly.
Some teams obviously going to have to pay. The Tigers are going to have to pay him $20-something million for that last year.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll make $20 million in my lifetime.
Nope,
but
probably not.
So if he's making $20 million by sitting, getting up to hit 3 or 4 times a game,
that's not bad. Good life.
Well, why not, Prince? Go for it.
On his part, I think he definitely deserved to command that contract. I think the Tigers kind of got forced into making that deal with Martinez going down. But I think it was a kind of a tricky year for first base this year, just because all the big money teams have first basemen, so they didn't really need anybody. And so that kind of hurt him a little bit, definitely.
It did. It was a large contract, 9 years, $214 million. I agree with you. Detroit had to do it. Martinez goes down. You have to replace him with someone, and obviously Prince can be that guy.
Definitely.
And you're right. Prince is going to be at first, and Cabrera's going to be at third.
Which kills.
We talked about that last week. They're the same body type. Cabrera did not work at third base a couple years ago.
06 and 07 he played third. He's. I think I talked a little bit about the sabermetric stats, the runs above fielding or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And his was -17, so he pretty much cost the team 17 runs. And then Prince over the last 3 years cost the team. He's -18 for fielding, so the hot corners are going to be struggling.
So as much as you think Prince and Cabrera on the same team would be a pitcher's nightmare, it'll be the Detroit pitcher's nightmare defensively because
bunt all day on those guys.
You have the speedy teams come up, bunt like Ichiro, and just they can walk to first base basically. And I mean, they tried Cabrera in left field. That I don't even know why. He's how much does he weigh? 260.
Cabrera was a disaster in the outfield when he played, even when he was younger. So
he comes in the league. I remember he came in the league to Florida. He was about 190 pounds.
Yeah.
He's 260 pounds right now.
He's a tank right now.
He's not a third baseman.
No.
He's a first baseman. That would steer me away from this deal.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't want Prince on my team if I already have a big guy.
That's what I'm saying. I think they jumped the gun, panicked a little, and Martinez.
They definitely panicked. Obviously, they want to win right now, and that's everyone wants to win right now.
Definitely.
So they wanted Prince for that reason, but now you have him for 9 years.
Exactly.
You have Cabrera for however many years, and obviously you're going to want to keep him as well.
You're going to keep him. I mean, he's the best.
And then when
hitter.
Victor Martinez comes back, obviously it's a great 3, 4, 5.
That's great, you know.
But 5 years down the road, what happens?
Exactly, and that's going to be a lot of money wasted.
A lot of money, and then Justin Verlander is going to be a lot of money too.
Definitely.
And I believe he re-signed a contract through 2014. Sure. We'll have to check on that. But I'm pretty sure he signed an extension last year or 2 years ago because of this fantastic season he had.
That was ridiculous.
But so they're stuck with all these players.
Yeah. And then going back to defense. I mean, because you put him there, but then because Inge was a good third baseman. He was 13, positive 13 for the fielding factor. So that's really killing him too.
Yeah, it is. So they'll be killer defensively. We talked about Cabrera's home run difference.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to match his home runs.
Fielder?
Yeah. They're going to go down.
Yeah, definitely, because we did the whole park, park adjustments that
Comerica Park is bigger than Miller Park.
Definitely.
Prince is a left-handed hitter who he can pull the ball well.
Yeah.
So he does hit center and left field as well. 12 of his home runs in Miller Park went center or left field.
Yeah.
None of those home runs will go out of the park in Comerica.
Yeah. So
that's already -12 in home runs.
Yeah,
and I remember last week you had a stat saying that he hit less home runs, significantly less home runs.
And his slugging was drastic. I mean, he slugged .659 last year at Miller Park, .476 away. That's insane.
That's a huge difference.
183 points.
Huge
That's
difference.
Ridiculous. I mean, yeah. And then, like I said, with the Bill James home run index where 100's neutral and anything below is hurting and anything above is better. I mean, for lefties at Comerica, it's 90, and Miller Park is 95. So not a huge difference, but definitely, it's going to make a little difference.
It definitely will make a difference. I don't think he'll be hitting the home runs. He's not an average hitter either, so he doesn't hit for average, I'm saying. So
I mean, he'll hit 280, but he's not like a...
But that goes down every year. He's going to get slower.
Exactly, yeah.
Teams are going to figure him out eventually.
Yep.
He doesn't hit the home run. Was his contract worth it? Yeah, in the end, it's nice to have a DH who can smack the ball around.
He's a bopper. He's a home run guy. Ever since 2006, which was his rookie year, he's third in homers behind, I think, Pujols and I forget who else.
Definitely A-Rod. We'll have to put
Pujols,
A-Rod. A couple people, but it's just not going to translate over to Comerica Park, I think.
I don't think so
it's
either.
Just going to be... It's going to blow up in their faces.
I think that's definitely a bad deal.
I think they're going to be a good team. I don't think there's another good team in that division.
I think we'll go over this when we do the previews, when we preview the divisions or whatever.
We're going to preview
Wednesday, start getting into that. But I think the Royals are sneaky.
I like the Royals too. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I do. I've liked them for quite a bit. And
they're starting to come in their own.
I want to say they're the Tampa Bay Rays of the Central.
I could see less pitching than the Rays, more hitting, I'd say.
They have, exactly. Their pitching is not great.
No.
And once again, we will preview these. Starting Wednesday, we're going to preview all of our teams.
Yeah.
Starting with the Cardinals.
All right, yeah.
Because they won the championship. So we'll go down.
Work our way down
to the worst team in the league. But I can agree with you on that. The Royals will be.
They're sneaky.
So let's talk good about this. Let's talk a little about the Prince deal. What good will he bring to this team?
I mean, the best thing he brings to this team right now is protection for Cabrera. Cabrera is the best hitter in baseball, in my opinion. I mean, he hit 340 last year, 30 homers, 100 RBIs. He's a machine. I mean, he gets on base. He was, I think, one of only a couple guys last year with OPS over 1,000. Him and I want to say Batista. And you need Cabrera to hit, so got to put somebody behind him.
Right, and without Martinez, there was no one behind him.
No, I mean, you could put Alex Avila behind him, but he's not the same.
I'm going to have to say Avila's stats are going to drop this year.
Definitely.
He had a great year, but he's not going to keep it up.
Yeah.
So you're right. Who goes behind him? Obviously, Prince gets slotted behind him. Personally, I think the best thing that happens to this is the fact that Prince is on field, and you now are selling Prince jerseys.
Yeah.
That's about it for me. I mean, he brings the power. I'm going to go out and say he's not going to hit 280. He's going to hit below it. He might walk a little.
I think he'll have the on base. His on base has been 400 over the last 3 years, so I think he'll still do that.
All right, so we'll give him the on base. So we're gonna decrease his home runs by a little. We agree on that one.
That, definitely agree
his
with
average around 280 or a little less because
yeah.
I think he hit 260 one year in Miller Park. And
it seems like every other year he'll have a very good year, and then he'll have more of an average year, and then.
And I want to say the American League pitchers tend to be better than.
I mean, the pitchers in general over the last couple of years have gotten better, but you still got in the NL, you still got Kershaw and Halladay and all the Phillies and Kennedy and Kane and Lincecum and all those guys. So
I'm just talking about their division.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Because he's really just gonna be playing the division. Well, not with the new settings and everything, but you still have to play your division a lot.
Yeah.
There's not terribly great pitching in the Central, but
no, the pitching is.
It's also becoming a pitcher's league now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With all the steroids and everything getting really put on hold here.
All the young pitchers are definitely taking advantage.
They are, and I like his. He's going to sell jerseys, and in 5 years he'll be their DH, and I'm going to go see a Prince game where he's DHing. Hell, I'll go to a couple of their games. It's exciting to see someone with that power potential to be the DH.
Yeah.
And it just really blows when you go to the NL games and you see Cliff Lee.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to see the pitchers hit.
No one wants to go and see Cliff Lee come up to bat.
No.
I'd rather see an old Pujols or an old fielder who can still put some pop into the ball.
Yes and no. Because I hope that NL never goes to DH just because baseball is tradition. And you can't switch that. I mean, baseball is all about the history, and I would hate to see that go. So,
I don't know. I like the DH. Baseball is our pastime.
Exactly.
Pastime.
I mean, yeah, but
I like it. I get it. It's a 100-year-old sport. But at what point, when you pay your pitchers $20 million, I don't want to see them running around the bases. They are not athletes.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I'm just a tradition guy. I'm all about baseball tradition. I could go on and on about the old guys.
The only thing I want to bring up is Chien-Ming Wang killed his ankle.
Yeah, and I knew that's where you're going with this.
And he has never been the same. And I can't give my pitcher $20 million to have him to watch CC just run around the bases. One would be awful for my eyesight. 300-pound man running around the bases. But what if he twists an ankle? There goes your season.
But I mean, you say that about. I know it's. But these guys, you say they're not really athletes. I mean, they're professional. They are professional athletes. The pitchers especially go through so much conditioning and running and strength stuff. When they're because they pitch. They pitch once a week and then they got all their conditioning and all that good stuff. So if you're gonna go out there and say that the pitchers are just gonna get hurt because they're all flimsy, I think that's they're athletes too.
All right, they're athletes. I would just rather see a guy come up and be able to hit the ball. Instead of, I get it, it's strategy in the NL.
Yeah.
Bunt the pitcher, bunt the runner over from first to second or second to third. But at what point, do they get hurt? What if the other pitcher hits them? I don't know. There's so many different things that could happen, and personally, I'd rather see a 38-year-old Pujols, 36-year-old fielder, or Big Papi come up to bat, and it's just exciting. You know, I see these pitchers come up. Well, we'll put it in there.
Yeah, I mean,
someone I can't.
It would definitely be more exciting to see Pujols, but I would not.
You don't want to see Fielder.
I don't want to. No.
So,
yeah.
I think we're both going to say bad deal overall.
I say bad deal, definitely.
Bad deal. Just too much money.
Too much money.
Personally, too much money. I maybe this says the economy is turning around. If you're spending $214 million on one player in Detroit,
yeah,
hopefully the economy is coming back around.
that's a good point. Yeah,
but so not great.
No, I didn't like the deal.
I'm gonna come and pay to see him hit 400, foot bombs. But other than that,
yeah, they panicked. Definitely, Tigers
panicked. All right, so let's compare these two big guys, Pujols and Prince.
I mean, I like the Pujols deal. I don't care 10 years if he's 32. I could sign him with 20 years. The dude's gonna hit. Dude is the greatest hitter of our generation by far. Best hitter probably since, I don't know, we'll say Ted Williams. I say. And then with that pickup, I definitely think it puts the Angels in a position to win now. They have the pitching. He's their big stopper in the middle of the offense. So I mean, around him isn't the strongest, but you put Pujols in there. With the pitching, with the rotation they have now with C.J. Wilson and Weaver and Herron and Santana, that's pretty good floor.
Pretty good, yeah.
So, I like it.
I like it as well. What really sold him was 20 years. He gets 10 years to play and then a 10-year partnership afterwards. So he's partner for the team.
Yeah.
And that's what really he wanted to be part of the organization afterwards as well. He wanted to move his family there and stay there.
Yeah. I do hate the fact that he left St. Louis, though. I will say that.
I was upset.
He's a guy that needs to stay with the team for his whole career, I thought.
He was one of those guys who I thought, I hope he's going to break the home run record.
I think he will.
I really hope.
He's at 445 now, 762 the record, so I think that's within reaching distance. I think he's got an outside shot at the RBIs, too. I think he's got even a very slim chance, but an outside shot even at the doubles record as well. So,
well, I just hope he gets somewhere close to it.
Yeah.
Personally, I hope he does. I don't think he will. I'll give you my reasons.
All right.
But if we had to compare the two deals, yeah, I'm probably going with Pujols.
Yeah.
Just a little though. It was really.
Really.
It was really close, just because. Pujols is 32 and he's already on the decline.
Yeah.
And when I went and looked at the dimensions of the parks, they're exactly the same. The Busch Stadium, going from left to right, is 330, 372, 402 at center, 372, and 330.
Yeah.
Angel Stadium is 330, 387, so it's a little farther, 400, 370, and 330. So basically the same.
The same, but I didn't know that, but that's pretty interesting because when I looked at the park index for their stadium from 2009 to 2011, the Angels was 96, so a little below average for right-hand hitters.
Right.
Busch Stadium was 73.
Really?
Which is dead last.
Wow.
So I thought that was very interesting.
So we'll have to come back in like 2 years
and see how that plays out.
The only thing that really, really scares me is I have his stats for the past 4 years in front of me.
Yeah.
2008, he played 148 games, hit 37 home runs.
Yeah.
His average was 357 by far.
Yeah, 2008 was his monster year.
Great year. So he had a great year. 357, OPB 463, slugging 653, and an OPS of 1.115.
Yeah.
Great year. 2009, plays 160 games, home runs 47, average 327, on-base percentage 443, slugging 658. So average went down drastically.
I think, just stop you right
went
there.
Down,
yeah.
And slugging went up a little. He played a little more games, so he hit 10 more home runs.
Yeah.
2010, 159 games played. Home runs go down by 5 to 42. Average goes down to 312. On-base percentage goes down to 414. Slugging goes down to 596. The slugging slumped over 50 points.
Mm-hmm.
2011, 147 games, 37 home runs, so that fell 5 again. Under 100 RBIs. His first year ever not hitting over 300, only 299.
Yep.
On-base percentage fell all the way to 366, so a 100-point difference between 2008 and 2011. And slugging is 541, over another 100 points from 2008 to 2011. Obviously, 2008 was a great year for him.
Yeah.
But
since 2009, yeah, his runs, hits, doubles, homers, RBIs, walks, and slash stats have all been down.
Everything's going down. Everything's pointing downwards.
But
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just gave me a very interesting stat on Busch Stadium.
Yes,
but,
I did.
You know, and it's not even like they didn't have a guy behind him because Matt Holliday was there.
Matt Holliday, yeah.
And he's not a bad hitter either.
He's a good hitter. He's very good hitter.
He was hurt this year. He still managed 147 games. So
yeah,
it's not. I can't even give him the fact that he was injured.
Yeah.
I expect him to be Albert Pujols.
Well, yeah, because then, you look at, you say, oh, blah, 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 Pujols. I mean, his postseason stats were ridiculous.
They were.
353, 440 on base, 691 slugging for a 1131 OPS, which is pretty freaking good. So that's not bad. And then, even with the whole decline, as we said, he's still finished top 5 MVP every single year. And his last 3 years with the decline, his average slash line is 313, 409 on base, 598 slugging for 1,007 OPS. So if your OPS is over 1,000, you're still doing something right.
Still, you are definitely. I don't know. I was really split.
I love it. I loved it. Yeah.
I really enjoy him. I love watching him. I think he's just one of those all-around terrific players.
Great hitter.
If he ever came out, and if there was ever a breaking news story that he had used steroids,
devastating.
I would cry. I would be so devastated, like you just said. I just can't imagine him being the guy who.
The only person that'd be worse would be Jeter, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I would just be crushed if Albert Pujols.
I'd have to reevaluate my entire life.
I would. I would just hate it. I would hate baseball I probably would stop watching it.
I would question every decision I ever made in my entire life if that was true.
Because I cannot wait to go and see him play. When the Angels come to New York.
I'm actually going to a game.
Are you really?
I am.
So, he's just one of those guys who he's like the whole Yankee team. Yankees go to the Kansas City Royals. It's a sellout stadium.
Yeah.
You have Albert Pujols in any stadium. It's a sellout stadium.
Definitely.
So he obviously.
Come to see him play.
Everyone will buy his jersey, and the Angels will probably get a TV contract just like the Yankees and make another $60 million on top of what they have.
Yeah.
Because
even when he does start to get up there and when his stats really start to, decline, I mean, he's still going to be playing for those milestones when he gets up there. Exactly. So people are still going to be very
So you have to put in
interested in
the fact that he's Pujols, the fact that he has milestones, and the fact that he can hit for power.
Yeah, definitely. And we're overlooking his fielding as well. He's a very good fielder.
I'd have to put him in the top 5.
Definitely.
I don't know who gets number 1. Mark Teixeira is I'm big on him on fielding.
Yeah, Teixeira.
But Pujols is a very good defender.
Very, very good.
And it's interesting because he is such a large man, not even heavy.
No,
just
but he's a big guy. I mean, that play he made when he came off the base and threw to third in the playoffs to get, I forget who it was, but when he I forget, somebody was on first, and there was a grounder to, I want to say, short of third, threw to Pujols. Guy on first just kept going.
Threw back to
and he
third.
Came off the base. I can't get more heads up than that. I mean, you could say, the couple Jeter plays, but that was ridiculous.
I wish everyone could see your face because you just seem so shocked at how good that play.
That was a very good play. I was stunned at that.
So we're split here. Well, I'm split. You're going with
Pujols all the way.
I like what they both have to give. I'm just a little worried. Obviously, you told me Busch Stadium's harder to hit home runs in.
Yeah, as a righty.
He does have the. I don't know the word. He gets a little lucky. Let's just put it this way. He's in the AL West.
Yeah.
He's playing the Mariners. And
the Mariners, the A's.
The A's. And the Rangers. The Rangers have a very good team. And obviously, it's going to be the Rangers and Angels down to the wire.
But he doesn't have to face the pitching that's on his team.
Exactly. He's not going to have to face very good pitching. He's
mean,
going to be hitting, against the Mariners. Hernandez.
Yeah.
And that's it. Hernandez and who else?
The A's have some good young guys. They got Cahill out there. If Brett Anderson actually bounces back. And we'll see how you does over in Texas.
And even the Mariners have terrific young players, but that's exactly it. They're young.
Young, exactly.
And who knows if the Mariners players come up this year. Like you said, who knows if Cahill comes back and has a great year. Brett Anderson. The A's have a terrific pitching year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Terrific. I jumped all over their players on the fantasy league.
Well, yeah. Cahill had a ridiculous year, but that was because his balls in play average was very low, which means his defense was very helpful to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I will bring that up with C.J. Wilson because he is he's a ground ball pitcher as well, but he now plays for the Angels, so you don't have to deal with him if you're Pujols.
No.
The only big thing you have to deal with is, I guess, the American League East, where the pitching is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really the only big thing, and you only play them a couple times a year, so you're just basically waiting until playoffs.
Pretty much.
To see them. And I could see the Angels be that team that has the one game win it or lose it.
Yeah.
Like you said, we'll have to see what Yu Darvish does in Texas.
We'll get to
Texas does have a powerhouse of an offense, though.
They do have a powerhouse. Yeah. I mean, obviously their offense is ridiculous, but we'll see how their pitching does.
Yeah. And we'll preview that probably next week.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
They'll be our second team because they obviously were the losers.
Lost the World Series again.
Hopefully. Maybe they can do it this year.
Yeah.
But, all right, so let's move on to C.J. Wilson, I guess.
C.J. Wilson.
So he signs contract the same day as Pujols, basically.
Yeah, they just got wild with contracts, pretty much.
They did. I read a story that they were, talking to Wilson, brought him out to dinner. He's not a big meat eater, so they brought him out to some vegetarian place.
All right.
I'll just throw that in there.
All right, I like it.
So they tell him that they're going after some big guy, and he's going crazy thinking who it is.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Then it breaks that Pujols signs with the Angels.
He's a pretty big guy. That's pretty big sign.
Less than 10 hours later, C.J. Wilson signs with the Angels as well.
Yeah.
So obviously you want to go where Pujols is going. He's just he's that guy when we're talking about it. He's such a commander. You want to play for him. You don't want to pitch against him.
You want to be on Pujols' team, definitely. But, 5 years, 77.5 for CJ. I'm mixed about how I feel about that because I think he's not an ace at all. I don't think. No, he is not an ace. Even though he was the ace of Texas, he's not an ace.
And that shows how bad their pitching. I'm not going to say bad.
It wasn't
mediocre. We'll put
they had
mediocre.
A bunch of average pitchers.
Exactly.
So
giving up 3 to 5 runs.
Giving you innings. The Nolan Ryan way.
Yeah. So C.J. Wilson was their ace. C.J. Wilson will now slot as probably the number 3 behind Herron and then Weaver.
So when you put him as a 3, that's not bad.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
He's definitely not an ace, and I'll agree with you. I'm happy he's in Los Angeles. I know that. Personally, we're both Yankee fans. So
yes,
we'll put it from our point of view. I did not want him to be a Yankee.
No, I was hoping they weren't going to sign
him. Everyone is very high on him. He had 2 very good years. So we'll put it that way. He had mediocre good years.
Yeah,
he was great in the bullpen. Then they switched him to starter, and he was a starter to come into the league, just like Neftali Feliz. So they knew that he could. He can manage the innings pitched, so that wasn't an issue.
So he's been productive. Since he's become a starter, he's over the last couple of years, he's averaged 16 and 8, 3.14 ERA, 214 innings, 7.9 strikeouts per 9, 3.5 walks per 9 is not great, but it's not bad. But he gives you innings if nothing else.
He gives you innings. He's a ground ball pitcher. I think the biggest factor working for C.J. Wilson in Texas was the fact that their defense was phenomenal.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
In 2010, the Rangers were 4th in defensive efficiency, and that is the rate they converted batted balls into outs.
Yeah.
And with the addition of Adrian Beltre in 2011, the Rangers were 2nd in defense. So they have a very good defense.
Yeah.
And before the Angels signing, I didn't like him really going anywhere. But he signed with the Angels, and they're 4th in defensive efficiency.
Yeah.
So it still could be a very good signing. Personally, I don't really want him on my team if I don't have a good...
No, but I think he's a good fit with them just because they have the 2 aces. Put him as the 3. That's a very strong rotation with Ervin Santana as the 4 guy.
Right. I think one of the only teams that works was the Angels or the Rangers.
Yeah.
Whoever's high in defensive efficiency. He has a 49.3 ground ball rate, which was 12th in the AL in 2011. His weakness is the fact that he walks 3.8 people per 9 innings.
Yeah.
But with the stellar Texas defense, Wilson really didn't have anything to worry about. If you put a guy on, they'll just turn it into a double play. If he walked a guy...
Yeah, they had a pretty good double play combination with Andrews and Kinsler. So, but then he pitched in ballpark in Arlington isn't exactly a pitcher's park.
No.
So, yeah, he can't really do much worse than that.
Right, exactly. And what really helped him was the fact that he played in the AL West last year. He had 17 starts against the Oakland A's and Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, so he's got experience there, but he hasn't had to face his own team, which is by far the best hitting team in the division.
Yeah, there's no debate against that.
Yeah.
Even with the addition of Pujols, I'm still picking the Rangers as the offensive team in the AL West.
Definitely. I can
so if you're 17 starts against the A's and Mariners, you have to cut it in half, and say you're getting 8 starts, maybe 6 against the Rangers.
Yeah.
You're still playing the Seattle Mariners and you're still playing the Oakland A's, though.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps them.
Very weak offenses right there.
In 2011, Wilson's opponents had a combined OPS of .728, which was the lowest in baseball.
It's pretty good.
So he had the help that people weren't getting on base. He had the help of the defense. Let's see what happens. I like you said, I like him in Anaheim.
I like him there. Yeah, definitely.
They have a good defense. They have a good offense. And like you said, slotted at number 3.
Number 3, yeah, I think that's great.
He could be a very good pitcher.
Because if he's going to go up against other people's, we'll say number 3 guys, I think he can take down majority of 3 guys in the league.
Yeah.
So we'll see though. We shall see.
We'll just have to wait and see on that one. But
yeah.
What time is it?
7:50.
7:50. I guess.
7:50.
That went way too fast.
That was way too fast.
Well, this is why we got bumped up to a couple more days.
Exactly.
Days a week.
We got a lot more to go.
Let's just give it to you. We still had the Montero trade. We still had Burnett, who is about to get traded in the next couple days.
Yeah.
Hopefully. We'll talk about that. And we have Jaba's future, and I believe you were going to talk a little bit about Tiger, but
Tiger, yeah, we could, yeah. Tiger.
You want to throw that in the last minute?
Yeah, I guess we could throw a little Tiger in there. I mean, watching him, I did watch him this weekend. My roommates were kind enough to let me watch the Golf Channel. So that was fun for me. But watching him the first couple rounds was very fun. He looked good. He looked like he was... I mean, he's never going to be back to how he was just because the domination. People, I mean, you look at when he played in Abu Dhabi a couple weeks ago, people were saying how they enjoyed playing with Tiger. No one should enjoy playing with Tiger. You should not want to play with Tiger. You should be scared of Tiger. Is that ever going to be like that again? Probably not.
No.
But, this week he comes out. He's looking pretty good. He going into the Sunday, he was a couple back. Then
he was 5 back on Sunday.
It might have even been closer because I forget who was leading, but he double bogeyed the first hole, and Tiger was within 1. So if he was within 1 on like the second hole when yesterday, and then around I want to say 7th, 8th hole he fell apart.
He blew it.
Fell apart.
I watched the highlights on ESPN, and it didn't look.
I don't know what happened.
He just completely fell off the face of the earth, and just I watched him. I forgot what hole it was. Just hit the ball back and forth around the hole, and it looked like me playing miniature golf and trying to get it through the windmill. It was tough to watch.
It was, and I thought he was going to get going. He made a nice shot on par 5. I forget which hole. I want to say 5th or 6th, where it was uphill. He was hitting very uphill, and he made a great shot. I thought that was going to get him going, but it clearly didn't. But Phil was very good yesterday, though.
Congratulations to Phil.
Yeah. Which is an interesting stat that they kept posting about that. Last, I think, 3 years, he had his first 3 tournaments, he was terrible. He would finish like 50, and he missed a cut. and every single year the fourth tournament he wins.
Really?
Fourth tournament he won yesterday. So that was very interesting.
So we'll see you in 4 tournaments then.
Yeah, see you later, Phil.
But Tiger comes up short again. Was it 23 in a row now that he hasn't won
Tiger
or placed in first?
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I don't think he's coming back.
He's not. He's
going
going to be a good golfer, but he's not Tiger anymore.
No, and it's a little upsetting because it would have been nice to see him break all the records.
Yeah. I think he still will, to be honest. He's only got 4 more to go, I think, to tie it or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he can manage to get 4 majors. He's not old, but
he's not. But I just don't think it's there. I don't know what happened to him.
Especially with all the young golfers out there. Who
you're a Roy
McIlroy is my boy. Love him. Tied for 5th in Dubai. Anyone who cares out there.
So we got McIlroy fan over here.
Oh yeah.
So that it's time to wrap it up, unfortunately. But
unfortunately,
that was our first Monday show. I hope you enjoyed it.
We'll be back Wednesday.
We'll be back here Wednesday, and then we'll give you our new times for next week.
Yep. If we add another day.
I hope we do. I mean, it's just too much to talk about in too little time.
Exactly.
So, you've been listening to Daily Sports Rant, and I'm Matthew Stapleton.
Tim Paragone.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.